Assalamu alaikum. Before you start watching this video regarding work experience justification in Express Entry or Provincial Nomination Program for Canadian immigration, I just wanted to request you all that I'm not an immigration lawyer, I'm not an immigration expert, I'm just sharing my personal experience which can or cannot be helpful in your case. So I would encourage you and I would highly recommend you to do your own research, do visit official websites and try to gather as much as official information as you can. I'm just sharing my personal experiences. Again, this can help you or this cannot help you. You are going to be the best judge in this case. Assalamu alaikum. Once again, I would like to welcome you all to our video series where we are discussing Canadian immigration via Express Entry or by Provincial Nomination Program. In this video, we are going to specifically talk about work history or work experience justification. By work experience justification, we mean that once we are ready to put our Express Entry or PnP application, we need to mention how we have achieved certain number of years of work experience with one or many organizations. In order to explain this step, or in order to explain how we can justify our work experience, I'm going to use my example. As you can see on the screen, I have worked with 13 organizations, and while I was putting my Express Entry application, I was working with company I. During my work experience or during my work history, I have encountered various situations where a company has stopped its business operations, or where an organization has changed its legal name, or once I have resigned from an organization and I rejoined the same organization. In this course of video, we are going to tackle all of these situations, and we are going to try to explain how we can justify our work experience. In this video, we are also going to look at what are the acceptable documents that are going to build up your work experience history, or that are required to justify that you have worked for a specific organization in a specific time span. First of all, I'm going to share an official web link that is going to explain what are the acceptable documents if we have to justify our work experience. So I have this already open, and I'm going to put this link in video description as well. Most of the Express Entry candidates or most of the PnP candidates, they are job holders. So this is the section we should really read and understand. This link also contains a bunch of useful information. You can of course try to go through all of the information on this official web link. If you feel the need to do so, you have time on yourself. So what we really understand is what exactly is a job reference letter and what is an experience letter. An experience letter is going to contain simply your work start date with an organization, your end date with an organization, and it can also mention your job designation which you held while you were working for that company. And a job reference letter is going to contain a bunch of information which we will be looking at in a moment. So first I'm going to show you an example of an experience letter. Of course, every information is available online. You can see various samples via Google, and I have this already selected, so we can try to have a look at this. So again, this is going to be printed on your company's official letterhead, and it is going to contain a very basic information regarding your name, your company name, your start date, your end date, and obviously this is going to be signed and stamped by an official representative of the company. And a job reference letter, which I'm going to show you right now. This is going to be the format of your job reference letter. It is going to contain the date on which this job reference letter would have been printed, or this would be printed. It is going to contain your name, a bunch of information regarding your spouse, your father, whatever you would want to choose. And it is going to contain your company name as a sample. This is going to contain your job title, your period of employment, your annual salary. And the way you can calculate is this: you can multiply your monthly pay with number of months in a year, and that is going to be your annual pay. So X amount of money multiplied by 12 is going to be your annual pay. And it is going to explain about your roles and responsibilities, which are uh, which you would have performed on a specific job title, as mentioned here. And then obviously this letter will also be signed and stamped by an official representative of the company. Most of the time this is going to be an HR representative who would sign and stamp this job reference letter, and this would also be printed on the company official letterhead, and it is going to contain email address and phone numbers of the official company representatives. So this is going to be an example of job reference letter. Again, coming back to the list of accepted documents. So if I have to justify my work experience with, let's suppose, company B, I'm going to gather as much documentation as I can, which can include appointment letters or agreement letters, confirmation letter, which I would have, or which any employee would have received after completing their initial probation period. Once again, job reference letter and monthly pay stubs. Monthly pay stubs, a lot of the companies, they have started to hand out monthly pay stubs to their employees, and it should be enough if we attach 3 to 6 months of monthly pay stubs. And we can also attach tax letters if we have received any promotions during our work with a specific company, if we have received any increment letters, PF fund letters, and if we can also attach associated bank statements. If I have to show you example of all of these documents, once again, these are available over Google, or you can use your personal documents, letter of appointment samples, pay increase samples, bonus letter samples, and then tax certificate samples. These are going to be country specific as well. Now let's talk about a few of the examples. The first one is, I worked for a company which is not in business anymore. So coming back to my own example for company C, while I was trying to gather documents for justifying my work experience for company C, I came to know that this company is not operating anymore. So what I did, I took my appointment letter, my contract letter, and along with that I had a few of the monthly pay stubs, and I had the standard experience letter. So I uploaded whatever the documentation I had with myself at that time with my immigration application, and I also provided a letter of explanation stating that this company is not operating anymore, so I wouldn't be able to provide a job reference letter. And the documentation which I provided was ultimately accepted. So that is how you deal if the company is not working anymore, or the company does not exist anymore. Again, coming back to our second example, I worked for a company and now it is operating with a different business name. Again, if I show you my work history, so company B uh, changed its legal name to something else. Again, What I did, I reached out to company B HR team, and I emailed them whatever the documentation I had from the previous time frame, and I requested them to give me a job reference letter which would state, let me show you. You can request them company name, formerly operating as old name. So yeah, on my official job reference letter, I requested them to include this statement, and this was enough to show that the company B, which now had the name company B, it was formerly operating as something else, and now it has legally changed its name to company B. That is how we deal with this example. So the next example is, I work for a company on multiple positions. This is going to be the most common example, as we join a company and we start with an initial job title, and then we receive promotions, and then we as the time goes by, as our employment period goes by, we worked on various different job titles. There are 2 or 3 options we can use to counter this example. One, we can request our company to provide us job reference letters for each of the job title, mentioning the respective employment period for each of the job title which we held with that specific organization. Or we can combine all of the positions held along with their respective employment periods in one job reference letter. Or another option would be to request the job reference letter for the most recent job title, and then include your roles and responsibilities of the most recent job title, and that should be enough to justify your work experience if you have worked on multiple positions. And the final example is, I worked for a company, I resigned and joined the same company again at a later stage. So in my work history, if you see, I started working with company G, went on to work with company H, and then again started working with company G. And then if you look at this work experience, the company G also changed its name to company I. So then again, I attached all of the documentation which I had received when I initially started working with company G. I had my initial letter of appointment, my employment contract, my standard experience letter from this company, and my job reference letter from this company. And when I joined this company again, I joined on a different job title, and eventually I received promotions, and I received pay increases. So once this company changed its name to I requested them to give me the job reference letter for the most recent position I held with this company. And now initially the documentation contained the company name G, but the final documentation which I received from this company, it had the name company I. And again, it was also mentioned in this statement. So that is how we deal with various situations once it comes to justifying our work experience.
Thank you for watching this video. I hope you would have found this helpful and informative. Please feel free to share it among your friends and anybody who is struggling with work experience justification in Express Entry or provincial nomination. Please do like, share and subscribe. Stay blessed.